Welcome to our YouTube channel, Let's See the Story. I want you to drop right into this moment with me. Imagine stepping straight onto a dark, overgrown path. The canopy above is so thick it completely blocks out the sun. The air, heavy, and the ground beneath you is barely even visible. These vines are so dense, so intricately woven across the forest floor that with every single step, it feels like they're just swallowing your feet entirely. This isn't your average walk in the woods. This environment feels alive, like it's watching and waiting. Today we're exploring an absolutely fascinating narrative, breaking down the mechanics of a truly magical and honestly terrifying encounter in this forest.
So picture this incredibly tense standoff. Our protagonist, Chandravati, is already completely on edge. She's navigating this treacherous path when suddenly she hears it, the distinct crunch of footsteps right behind her. Terrified, she whips around, her hand instinctively gripping a knife. Standing there in the shadows are three unknown men, Vengan, Vengan, and Vengan. She demands to know who they are, warning them to stay back or she's going to use that blade. The men quickly try to de-escalate, right? They throw their hands up, insisting they aren't a threat and that they're just looking for someone. But, in a place like this, trust is a really dangerous game.
And wow, this brilliantly illustrates the danger of this world. Right in the middle of their tense standoff. Before they can even figure out if they're enemies or allies, the forest decides for them. The very vines they're standing on, the ones that were completely dead still just a second ago, suddenly spring to life. Literally like countless green snakes, they whip around the ankles of all four people, wrapping so tightly around their legs and instantly freezing them in place. The magic of the forest has been triggered, and the real trap just sprang shut.
The pacing here goes from 0 to 100 in a heartbeat. Total panic sets in. Vengan yells at Chandravati to use her knife. She slashes frantically at the thick green tendrils wrapping around her, but the moment the blade cuts through, no joke, the vines instantly regrow, thicker and faster than before. They're creeping up past their ankles, reaching for their knees. Vengan starts absolutely losing it, shouting out in terror that the rumors of supernatural traps were true. He's panicking that they're all going to meet an early death right here, before their search has even really begun.
Now, the climax of this sudden attack is purely terrifying. As the vines pull tighter, Chandravati desperately tries to yank her leg free. But she loses her footing. She slips, falling hard toward the forest floor. Time kind of seems to slow down right here. As she falls, the ends of her long hair brush against the deadly, writhing vines. In a split-second reaction, Vengan lunges forward, managing to catch her hand just in time, pulling her back up before the forest can completely consume her. I mean, it is a breathtakingly close call.
But then, a crucial magical twist reveals itself in the heat of the moment. Catching her breath, Chandravati notices something vital about how the environment is reacting. The more they panic, the more they fight, the tighter the vines grip them. The forest is literally feeding on their fear and adrenaline. She yells out to the group, telling them to stop fighting. To survive, they have to do the absolute hardest thing imaginable when you're being attacked. They must completely calm their minds. So we enter this intense internal battle. The men immediately follow her lead. They close their eyes, take deep, shaky breaths, and successfully force their heart rates down. As their minds quiet, the vines around them actually begin to loosen. But Chandravati? She is struggling desperately. While the men find peace, her mind is just a storm. The moment she closes her eyes, she's flooded with these overwhelming, agonizing memories of her missing fiancé. The emotional pain is so sharp, so present that she just can't find that calmness. And because of that inner turmoil, the vines around her remain dangerously tight.
Now you're probably wondering, how on earth does she get out of this? Well, it takes a massive psychological effort. Chandravati realizes that her love and her grief are exactly what the forest is using against her right now. With sheer willpower, she manages to push the memories of her fiancé away, locking them in a box in the back of her mind. For just a few vital moments, she forces herself to forget him completely. As her mind finally goes blank and peaceful, the vines are pacified. They loosen their deadly grip, and she miraculously survives.
With the immediate danger past, the four of them just collapse, catching their breath, their legs bruised and battered. Vengan turns to Chandravati, expressing his deep, heartfelt gratitude. He acknowledges that, sure, Vengan caught her hand, but it was her quick thinking that saved all of their lives from the magical trap. And this shared near-death experience totally breaks the ice. It leads them to the most important question: why are they all risking their lives in this incredibly dangerous magical forest in the first place?
It turns out they're driven by parallel journeys.
The three men explain they're hunting for a friend of theirs. He's this eccentric researcher who is utterly obsessed with proving that magic is actually real. He came into this forest and just never returned. On the flip side, Chandravati reveals her own heartbreak. She's searching for her fiancé, the man who vanished without a single trace just days before they were supposed to be married. So we have two completely separate quests suddenly brought together by the dangers of the forest.
Hearing her story, a new alliance begins to form. Shorvadiran is really moved by this. He tells Chandravati that usually a man searches for his lost bride, but her courage to search for him, that's admirable. He promises that the three of them will protect her on this journey. In return, Chandravati reveals a major asset. She isn't just wandering aimlessly out here. She holds a crucial, highly detailed map that leads straight to the mysterious Vengavira fort. Suddenly, they all realize they're going to be much stronger together. As we slow the narrative pace down for a second, the harsh reality of their environment really sets in. Night blankets the forest, plunging them into absolute pitch darkness. The adrenaline is finally worn off, and they are completely exhausted. Their legs are just aching from the crush of those vines. Knowing it's way too dangerous to try and navigate magical traps in the dark, they gather around a small, crackling campfire to rest, recover, and gear up for whatever comes next.
Staring into those crackling flames, we uncover a really haunting piece of the puzzle. Vikravanthan asks Chandravati if her fiancé said anything before he disappeared. She reveals the cryptic final words he spoke to her just 2 days before their wedding. He had told her that he had to go on an important search, and he promised her, "After this search, we are inseparable." Now at the time, she didn't understand what he meant at all, but sitting here in a magical forest, those words carry an incredibly heavy, ominous weight. But the darkness doesn't last forever. Dawn breaks, bringing this brief, much-needed moment of hope as the morning sun cuts through that dense canopy. The group is awake, their energy slightly restored, and before setting off again, they huddle together, closely examining Chandravati's map in the daylight. The map is covered in these small, incredibly detailed drawings of a mountain range, pointing them right toward their next destination.
And this leaves the group with a chilling mystery. As they look closely at the intricate artwork of the mountains on the map, their eyes fall upon a single, ominous name written in elegant script right beneath the peaks. The name is Valorbara. So what does it mean? Is it a place of salvation, or the literal heart of the forest's dark magic? Does it hold the eccentric researcher, or the missing fiancé? The mystery only deepens from here.
That is where we leave our travelers for now, standing right at the edge of the unknown. Will the mountains of Valorbara bring them salvation, or will it be their ultimate doom? If you want to find out what happens next to Chandravati and her new allies, subscribe us for the story.